Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Gary. I hope you've all had a good week. I hope you have all had a great weekend. Welcome back to the Sunday Club. Tonight, I mean, it's been the FA Cup weekend, so I thought tonight we'd start to think about potential surprise World Cup squads. And obviously what you might count as a surprise or what I may count as a surprise or whatever. We're going to... They might be different. They may well be different. But, yeah, let's go over that. I'm going to first look at... In fact, I changed my graphics. I've just seen the same graphics on the top as I've got on the bottom. So bear with me because I will go over my channel members. Thank you for the channel members, by the way, who joined the quiz. I think it was great. Hugely. I loved it. Really loved it. So it was great doing that quiz with everybody. For any channel members watching this later on, if you want to still do the quiz, I can still do it. I just need you guys to come back to me and say when you want to do it, really. So, yeah, that's why I've almost just left it for now. Let me see if I can change this top one, and then... I don't know if that will work. There we go. In fact, I've done it the wrong way around, but that'll do. That'll do for now. In fact, no, let me... I don't like that. I don't like it. We've always done this the other way. That needs to be that. And then this to be the other way. Bear with me. There we go. I've tried to think of a different way how to put my channel members on. So let me just give these guys a shout out. In this squad is, of course, Thomas Briscoe, Brian Turner, Gate 102 Podcast, Wow, It's Felix, Josh Philp, Kurt Barlow, and Ricky Grimshaw. And then I have two new members who are on the higher thing now. Starting 11, Robert Beveridge, thank you so much. And channel legend, Charlie Kelly. Honestly, I'm absolutely humble, guys. Thank you all so much. And thank you to you guys who come and watch regularly. So with that in mind, let me get up the chat because I can see that there's been a few chats and I don't want to miss things. So let me load up what's been on before. So Panther, evening. Charlie Kelly, hope you're well, mate. Good to have you back. Evening, Matt Attacks. Darius, hello, my friend. Hello, my friend too. Evening, Gary from Euroball. Wow, it's Felix. Hi, Gary. How you doing? Ricky Grimshaw. Evening, guys. Hope you're well. Glad I'm over the norovirus. Now I missed the last stream. Brilliant, mate. I'm glad you're feeling better. Yeah, just thank you all for joining me. So tonight we're going to be looking at those, and I suppose I'm not going to do it because this is definitely a future video, isn't it? The World Cup squad, but I think let's suggest. I mean, I did speak about actually the World Cup squad being expanded, and I think it will be because of the heat and the time of the year and the amount of games, etc. So I think they'll expand the World Cup slightly, but we'll not query about how many are going to be picked and stuff like that. But what we will say is, I would say let's say 3 to 4, maybe 5 squad places are going to be the most debatable. I think 80-95% of this squad is going to pick itself by the time it comes round. And the areas of the pitch that are probably going to be most in question are central midfield, because we've got an abundance of players who play in that position. It's hard to pick in terms of who is going to choose. That left-hand and probably that second striker. So there's a few things for us to discuss there. I think the defence is pretty solid. Maybe the fullback options are going to be open. Right, Charlie, great thing. Come straight in with Jack Grealish. Now, I wasn't even thinking of Jack Grealish, to be honest with you, when I was thinking about this, but you're absolutely right. He is definitely, surely, going to be in with a chance of getting in this squad, but he hasn't been picked by Thomas Tuchel, has he, up until this point? Another person I want to talk about is Harvey Barnes. Now, there's talk of him going to potentially to Scotland and representing Scotland. I think this next squad, I think if Harvey Barnes isn't picked in this next squad, I think he might go to Scotland. I really do think that. He has played once for England in a friendly, but he's one player I was thinking of. Calvert-Lewin is another one who could be a surprise call-up if he keeps scoring goals. Danny Welbeck was mooted earlier, but I think he's not scoring quite as many. But by the end of this season, Danny Welbeck will be one of the highest scoring Englishmen in the Premier League. That won't change. Delap, yeah, absolutely could get a run with Chelsea. The craziest thing, Palmer at the minute is a surprise pick. Maybe not in a squad, or maybe is he? Is he currently in this current crop of players? He just never gets cemented down. He's struggling with injury. He's never really had a solid run in this England side, has he? Foden, guaranteed. Is he guaranteed? Thomas Tuchel has said he will not pick all those number 10 or whatever you want to call them. You know, where does sort of Foden fit within this squad? You've got Madueke, you've got Eze. Are one of those two going to miss out? Rice, Anderson. I mean, Wharton. I need to talk about Adam Wharton, right? Because I'm not saying I dislike him, and I'm not saying I don't think he's a great player. I don't watch Crystal Palace. I mean, that's fair to say. I don't watch a lot of Crystal Palace, but when I have seen them, such as the FA Cup this weekend against a non-league side, Adam Wharton isn't screaming an absolute world-class player to me. And when I've seen him in an England shirt, when I have watched him, it's been in an England shirt, he's been poor. I'm not slating him, right? I am proper. I'm not sold on Adam Wharton at the minute. I'm not. Not compared to what I've seen in central midfield for England previously. So I need to see more from Adam Wharton. I definitely need to see that bit more from him to see if he can actually cement his place. Euroball says Rice, Anderson, Wharton, and Henderson seem nailed on now. I mean, is Henderson nailed on? Disappointingly, I think you might be right, but is he stuck on to go? But if anyone could take advantage of an injury to players above, is James Garner. Great season so far. Still only 24 and versatile. Absolutely agree. And he would be a surprise pick. Harvey Barnes plays on the right-hand side. We've already got a limited right side. Goal scorer in Bowen on the right. But is he having a better season than Bowen? I think he is. Wow, it's Felix saying Ramsdale could certainly make a push. He wouldn't play. Pickford's the number one, as you said. Have you seen the rumours Man United want Tuchel? They may do, but they've already said they're not going to recruit until the end of the season, so he's not going to interrupt anything World Cup related. My dad's on, everybody. Evening, Dad, you all right? Wharton was outstanding against Villa. Someone out of the blue always appears they do, and that's where I'm coming at, Panther, and that's where I'm coming from. And it's maybe a player here that we won't have even thought of. You're absolutely right. There's always going to be a player that comes out of absolutely nowhere. That left-hand side, I mean, Rashford isn't getting games now at Barcelona. He's not starting anyway, and everyone feel like he was a nailed-on pick based on Tuchel and the way he's picked him in recent squads and the way he's performed, being fair at Barcelona. But if he doesn't keep, if he keeps not making the starting 11 for Barcelona, is he a certain pick for England? Curtis Jones could be, yeah, I'm just not seeing that. Will Pope most likely be third choice keeper at the World Cup? Possibly. I mean, the reality is, does it matter? The goalkeepers do that. As long as Pickford's fit, which I think he will be, I don't think it'll matter from a goalkeeper's perspective. The striker, we need Delap. We need Delap to start doing something consistently in an England shirt. Madueke, we need him to start doing something in an Arsenal shirt. I think he does brilliantly for England, but he needs to do more in an England shirt. Kobe Mainu needs to leave Man United. Eze, can he maintain his form? How's Grealish going to fit back? There's so many things we need to look at here, but I don't want to lose him even if we don't win the World Cup. If we do well and go out on pens, for example, I really think we keep him for the home Euros. We are winning it. I mean, Charlie, I know for a fact you're definitely a Tuchel in, mate. I know you really like him, but I don't know. I know penalties are penalties, right? But that is... The argument is that they're the fine margins that Tuchel has been brought in to change. Historically, we know, if you go out on penalties, it's all luck, stuff like that, but it's never gone England's way, has it? Any sort of penalty shootout or those tight games where it goes to the full 90 or, all the way to penalties or there's a referee, it's those moments Thomas Tuchel has been brought in to change. And if he doesn't, then you think, well, I don't know. I'd be a bit like I'd like an English coach for the home Euros. Mason Mount could make a comeback. I did put a poll out on my YouTube channel not long back asking about Mason Mount, and it was closer than what I thought. But I think 66% out of 300 odd votes said no, he can't make a comeback, and another 30 odd percent said yes. So he may well do. People forget Tammy Abraham is scoring regularly in Turkey. I mean, there's Ivan Toney as well. It would be a surprise call up because reading between the lines, Tuchel did call him up and then didn't call him up again. Didn't play him and then hasn't called him up since. So whatever Thomas Tuchel saw in that brief period of calling Ivan Toney up, I don't think he fancies him at all. Isn't too early. What isn't too early? Tempered Tom. Do you mean Abraham? Who do you mean? Context. Put some context behind it. You might be right. You might be absolutely bang on what you're saying. For those that are watching, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, if you've never been on this live stream before, welcome. Not everyone's welcome, not only England fans. If you are a regular here and you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. It's completely free. It helps me out a lot. It shows people are interested in what I'm doing. It's been 2 or 3 weeks since I put a regular video out, but I try to live stream every Sunday. But next week, so from tomorrow, I will be putting one video out at least. And my next few videos are going to be around a bit more of a focus on our Group L opponents. So Ghana, Croatia and Panama. I'll be doing an individual video on each one of those teams, giving my thoughts about how good I think they are, how realistic it is to think that England can beat any of those teams, where it leaves us in the group, etc. So look out for that next week. I've done a lot of planning for that earlier today. So yeah, if you're new here and you're enjoying the content, hit the subscribe button. To be fair, he probably won't with the amount of talent that he has in front, but crazy things happen in football. I'm trying to think, right? There's a realistic possibility Palmer doesn't go. I think there's a possibility that Rashford and Foden don't go to the World Cup. I genuinely potentially believe that. I think he probably will pick Foden, actually, but I mean, Calvert-Lewin and Watkins aren't both going to go, I don't think. I mean, Eze, Madueke, Bowen, he's not going to pick them all, is he? There's not really going to be any huge surprises, Gary. I don't think there are too many players who are crying out to be picked. I think Harvey Barnes is one who certainly is of interest at the minute. There's a whole Jude Bellingham thing, whether he actually starts him. I mean, he's going. Jude Bellingham's going on the plane. Whether he starts him. I mean, Morgan Rogers he's got to play, hasn't he? He's got to play. He's got to play. He's been that good, both for England and in the league. Do I think Tuchel will go to Manchester United? I don't know. I think it depends how he gets on at the World Cup. I mean, there's sort of two things here. Thomas Tuchel came in and said he only wanted to be England until the World Cup. It seems like all the talk has been about this World Cup, this year's contract or whatever it was. That's what he's been brought in to do. The thing is, he's still young, so he still wants to he's got a lot he wants to do in the game. Having said that, though, Thomas Tuchel has clearly enjoyed his time so far as England manager. Let's not forget the fact that he will be on really good money. Enough money from the FA to compete with what Man United could potentially pay him. So money, I don't think, will be a thing for him. It's a cushy number. International football is way, way easier than club football. You're not dealing with fans week in, week out. In club football, you could be out of a job in 2 months. You've got a lot more stability with international football. Man United at the minute isn't an attractive place, is it, to go? But it is still Man United. It's difficult. I think it's all going to come to how you in the World Cup. Any decision will be made before the World Cup. I don't think any decision will be made before the World Cup from Thomas Tuchel. But let's see. Let's see how it's difficult to say, really. Lewis Hall might be a late bolter. He's been playing well for Newcastle. I mean, he was stuck on, wasn't he, to play for England before he got the injury at the end of last season. So it'd be good to see him back in. I can't see how Palmer don't go through. He's having a bit of a great period, but if he does go, I don't expect him to start. But having Palmer come off the bench will be amazing. At the minute, is he injured again? I think we mentioned this last week. I think a lot of people said Palmer's probably not going to make the plane. And this is where maybe the expanded squad would help him. I mean, surely in an expanded World Cup squad, he would make the cut. It's so tricky. It's so tricky. Yeah, I mean, Andrew, who are those players? Who's worrying you? I mean, Kane's Kane. Saka, he's not having the best season, but I think he's still playing well. Foden has had a good season. Grealish is having a good season. Bowen has been all right. He's been certainly the shining light in a poor West Ham team. Rashford moved to Barcelona, but then he's having a mixed season. Bellingham is certainly not having the season he has done previously, but he's still a top player. Rodgers is absolutely on fire. Mark Bullingham, the FA chief, said that Tuchel is signing for 18 months with sole focus on doing as well as possible in the World Cup, and if you sign for longer, then focus can shift. I mean, there's no way Thomas Tuchel's walking away before the World Cup. I think this Man United thing, none of us have got to worry about that. United have come out and said that they're not wanting a permanent manager to be decided until the end of the season. There's no way, if it is Thomas Tuchel, he'll want that announcing before he goes to the World Cup with England. No way. This is all post World Cup, this talk. Yeah, but Rodgers has been playing really well. Livramento and Colwill, but did he say that Tuchel said he could stay for up to 10 years if he does well? I mean, let's be honest, if he wins the World Cup, Charlie, he can stay as long as he wants, can't he? He then decides when he leaves. If we win the World Cup, he goes when he wants to go, mate. I'd take that. He'll have earned that right, won't he? But I wouldn't worry. I wouldn't worry about any news about Thomas Tuchel coming out sooner rather than later. I think the biggest problem is Saka's the wide player. Who's that other wide player? You know, someone who you can really rely on. And I think we've got a lot of good players. I don't know who that player is. I really don't. And I'm not worried. England have got, the beauty is if one isn't working, you bring on another one. And I think Thomas Tuchel is going to be that type of manager who does that. He's not going to be Gareth Southgate who gives it 4 or 5 games and doesn't change anything. I think he'll make the changes if it isn't working. No, but he's still having a great season, mate. Ben White, Ben White hasn't played since he fell out with the England setup, so I don't know if his England career's over, mate. It's difficult to say with Ben White. Luke Shaw, surely not. I think we've moved beyond him now. Harry Maguire, I think Maguire, with his experience, centre-back, I don't mind him. You know, he's an aerial threat. He's a defender who can cause some problems in the opposition box. I'd rather have him than Burn, put it that way. I would rather have Harry Maguire than Dan Burn. Yeah, I'm a big Madueke fan, but I think Saka is the best attacking wide player England have, personally. I mean, his goals and assists show that as well. But yeah, look, I'm with you on Madueke, mate. I think he's class. Well, in an expanded World Cup, Charlie, maybe that they are the options. Maybe. I mean, this is the thing, isn't it? Thomas Tuchel has clearly said, or clearly showed at least, he wants experience as well. He isn't just going to take the most exciting squad he can pick from. He's going to pick a balanced squad, and that's great. But Maguire's not had a look. Maguire would be a really surprise pick, and I think to be honest with you, Tuchel will get slated if you picked him. I like Eze, yeah, big Eze fan as well. But it's a funny one. It's a funny one, that, because Maguire would be a real bolt from the blue from Thomas Tuchel. I don't think he's ever been looking at him, to be honest with you. I mean, the Harvey Barnes situation is really interesting because he's playing out his skin, isn't he? He's playing absolutely out his skin. Do we pick him? I mean, obviously in these March friendlies, these March friendlies are going to say a lot. They're going to say a lot. any of these players that haven't played for a while, or some of these surprise places, like Harvey Mansfield, if he doesn't get called up there, he ain't going. He's not going to pick him. So we can quash those rumours quite early on with him, I think. Same probably with Harry Maguire and maybe a few others. I mean, if Henderson is picked in March, he's definitely going to the World Cup. You can make a case for saying that you picked him early in his reign because, I mean, how many injuries did Thomas Tuchel have to deal with? He had loads in there. He had so many injuries he had to deal with. And he sort of understood why he was picking him. If he picks him in these March games, which I think he will, I think absolutely he will. I think then, yeah, Henderson goes. I can't see Ben White going. I can't see Luke Shaw going. Trent is obviously another one who we haven't spoken about. He's out injured again. Trent isn't making the plane. I can't see Trent Alexander-Arnold making the plane. Sterling, no way. No. He's not getting in. No, I think there's far too many good players in that position now. I can't see Raheem Sterling getting in this squad. My squad for now is Pickford, Henderson, Pope, James, Spence, Konza, Maguire, Gay, Colwill, O'Reilly and Hall. I mean, that's a solid... There's a mix there of, experience and youth. Gahey and probably Konza for me are the two starting centre-backs. Jed Spence, I'm a big fan of. Anderson, Wharton, I'm not sold on Wharton, but Rice, Henderson, Bellingham, Palmer, Foden, Rodgers, Saka, Madueke, Eze, Kane, Watkins and Delap. Why Delap though? Delap has shown nothing, has it? I mean, his temperament is where he gets himself sent off. I'm not convinced on Delap neither. Well, on the predictor video I did, Panther, if we top our group, I mean, it depends where Mexico come, to be honest with you, obviously in their group, but it could definitely be Mexico in Mexico City, which is just ridiculous. Hi, JT, mate, you alright? Guys, Cole is injured until after the World Cup. Is he out until after the World Cup? I didn't realise that. I mean, look, the third striker, probably, is it Watkins? Watkins is playing out his skin. Well, he's a second striker then. Watkins in... Well, maybe. Yeah, maybe you're right, mate. Maybe you're right. But Delap didn't do enough for me. Do you pick Calvert-Lewin above him? More experience. He's still a target man. He's scoring goals. You'd argue Calvert-Lewin's having a better season than Delap. What do you think of Arsenal after Gahey, Gary? He'll just sit on the bench when he's easily as good as Saliba or Gabriel. It's hard because they've been after him for a while, haven't they? They've been after him for a while, and I don't know. That's the only problem sometimes when these players move. You think, right, if he moves and plays, fine. But I agree, he's as good as those two. But it's a tough one, mate. It's a tough one. And even if he did come back, he won't be fit for nowhere near his best. Tuchel has to take a squad that he can go all the way and go against the big boys and give them a game. Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. I think Dan Burn has got a. I think Thomas Tuchel likes him. Gibbs White or Carroll. I could be wrong, but I think he's down the pecking order a bit. I watch Wharton every week on TV. He has sloppy moments, but he picks out a pass like no one else in England midfield. That's fair enough. I mean, I'm not sitting. I mean, the one thing I'm saying is I'm admitting the fact that I don't watch many games with Adam Morton because I'm not a Crystal Palace fan. I don't go to Crystal Palace games. I might see the odd highlights, but all I'm reflecting off is what I have seen of Adam Morton in an England shirt and on TV when I have watched him, and I'm just, from my perspective and what I've seen, I'm not convinced. However, there's too much noise around him for this not to have been, for this not to be accurate. I'm really disappointed over the summer he didn't. He was injured with the concussion and didn't go with the under-21s to the Euros, because that was my chance then to see him in a number of games back to back. So I was really disappointed about that. The only thing that's niggling in the back of my head is that, obviously, as England fans, well, all fans do the same, but we certainly, as England fans, have hyped players up before. I think Foden's overhyped. I think he's a great player, but the way people have spoke about Foden is that he was going to be this player that, the once in a generational talent. He has to play and all this. I think Foden's a luxury player. I've said this a million times. I think Foden is a brilliant player when the rest of the team around him is playing brilliantly. But if you're relying on Foden to win you a game and you're playing poorly, he ain't the man to do it. Do you think we have potentially easy route to the final? No, I think. End of the day, by the quarterfinals, you're going to be playing someone half decent, aren't you? If Delap picks up his form, then he can provide experience from playing as a battering ram versus PSG. Charlie, I don't think Palmer will stay at Chelsea for long, as we are laughing stock with American Yankees that have no clue how football works. Who do you think has the left back position? I still think it's up for 100% it's up for grabs. 100%. Wharton is just not as good as Anderson. That would be my opinion, but that's not the opinion of what you hear. That's just not what people are saying. But all the evidence I've seen is that Anderson is a far better player than Adam Wharton. But all I'm going off is the hype I hear about Adam Wharton. And I've not yet seen it myself. And I hope I'm wrong. This is not me hating on Adam Wharton. I'm just pulling out facts in terms of what I have actually seen. But look, I'm hoping Palace fans are absolutely spot on with this lad. Yeah, it's at the end of the day, if you can pick a pass, it's great. But Trent can pick a pass, but what else to his game matters? It might sound crazy, but football's more than passing, isn't it? I don't think Trent makes the plane. I just said that earlier, Charlie. I don't think he makes it. Do you think Anderson is going to make the squad despite... do you think Anderson is going to make it to the squad despite Sean Dyche not getting best out of any four his players? Yeah, I think he will, mate. If we mess up against Croatia, we will get Portugal or Colombia in the last 32. Yeah, we're not going to... Look, you're in the knockout rounds. Expect to play half-decent teams. I think certainly by the semis, you're playing a world-class team. Depending on how we qualify, it's just then whether we face a top team maybe a round or two earlier. Yeah, maybe he is match type, but then if he's picking Henderson, how many, It's like, does he get in? Would you not mind getting Germany in the World Cup whilst having Tuchel? Oh, no, I'd love it. And I think we're a better team than Germany as well. Yeah, it'd certainly be good for the papers, wouldn't it? But, I don't know. The Germans beating us in a tournament with have a German manager in charge would be a pretty sour day, wouldn't it? Yeah, it would be one of those bad moments as an England fan, and you can imagine the crap that would come out on Twitter and on WhatsApp groups from certain fans. You can imagine the abuse that lad'd get. So yes, is one thing, but then at the same time, it might end up being a really ugly day, that. The weird thing, there's only one team, right? In fact, there's probably two teams. I would literally do anything to not knock it out. One of them, I don't think there's any chance of knocking us out, and that's the US. I think the way the group's gone, anyway, we've got no chance of playing the US unless it's in the final. And they wouldn't beat us anyway. But the American fans, if they ever beat us and knocked us out of a tournament in football, would just be horrendous. And the other team is Argentina. I want to play Argentina in a knockout round at a World Cup so badly. In time, I would just hate it if they beat us. I genuinely think we get 9 points from 9. Croatia will be a 3-0 win. Ghana will be 4-0 and Panama will be a 6-0 win. So no goals conceded then, Charlie. I love it, mate. I absolutely love it. If we get Argentina in the semis, I think we have a chance of beating... look, England's got a chance of beating anybody. That's not me saying we're going to win it. We shouldn't fear anybody. And I don't fear a team. It's just... There's just teams you want to play later in the tournament rather than earlier, particularly in the knockout rounds. I mean, the round of 60, the first knockout round, against Mexico in Mexico City, or the second, whenever it works out, that's a proper banana skin. That is, because ultimately, if they've got through their group, in the way that we probably predict they're going to get through their group, then they're going to be on a bit of a roll. I mean, they're going to be the most passionate fans by a long way at this World Cup in terms of the host nations. That'll be a tough game. That will be a proper tough game. I don't think Argentina are as good as us on paper. Garnacho is awful. Enzo Fernandez is bang average. They're just scum though, mate. That's the problem. If we get batter all the teams in the group stage with a clean sheet, then we are definitely winning the whole thing. No, Tuchel has a good record of not conceding. Look at Tuchel's clean sheet record and qualifying his record against Chelsea. The problem is, though, is England in qualifying have played nobody, haven't they? That's the problem. So I hear you, but I can't see us keeping a clean sheet in the group stage. Can't see that. I hope I'm wrong, obviously, but I can't see that happening. I think we'll concede. Definitely think we'll concede. It's the Ghana game in particular is probably the most, because I still can't believe that Ghana are ranked lower than Panama in FIFA rankings. And I know FIFA World Rankings aren't everything, but I'm thinking of like the Ghana from like from like 2008, 2007, where they were like 14th in the world and they were, getting through latter stages in World Cups. I think it's hard to detach myself from that. And then you're seeing Semenyo, who now plays for them, but then you look at that team and there's not a lot else there. They failed to qualify for the African Cup of Nations. It feels like, yeah, this is a poor side. But then at the same time, they've got that in them to, they've got pedigree as a nation of doing well in tournaments for an African team. So I think they're the biggest, they're the most difficult one to judge, I think. I don't know if it's confirmed, Robert, but you can take it as gospel that it will be, or if it hasn't been already. But no, they have been confirmed because I bought tickets for one of them. So yeah, they've both been confirmed, mate. Oh yes, guess the player. Thank you, Andrew. I forgot that. I prepared that. Let me put the guess the player on. I have prepared that. Oh, I'm glad you reminded me of that because it takes me a while to prepare that and I'd have forgotten. Do you think we will beat both Uruguay and Japan in the March friendly? No, because I think England are always underperforming friendlies. Let me put the guest player on. Here it is for this evening. Usually I've put it on 10-15 minutes before now, so let me give you till 15:15. You've all got 10 minutes to guess the player this evening. My thinking is not to start with Palmer, but then he becomes a guy that emerges later as a key player. Yes, it is Uruguay and Japan at Wembley in March. Yeah, exactly. When do Japan tickets go on sale, mate? I don't know, actually. I think they're not far off. I don't know why. I think they go on sale before the end of this month. Yeah, they'll not be far away. Might be in the next week or so, actually. I'll have to go through my emails and have a look. So Darius is saying Gordon, Steve Bull, Harry Kane. All I'm going to say, right, is just have a think. Because I think, I'm glad I've put this one on now. That's all I'm saying. Have a look. Have a look, everyone. Come on, think. It is. I mean, is it? It is quite hard. You might a trick. I wouldn't say it's a trick. England. It's an England player. I think if we concede it, we're against Croatia. We aren't conceding against Ghana or Panama. We will dominate those games. Toughest game is Croatia. We win that and we finish top with 9 points from 9. And I think, look, England are a better team than Croatia. I do think that, but they're They're still a really good team. I'm starting to feel like that opening game has got a draw written all over it. I could be wrong, but I don't know. I mean, would we take a draw? Would we take a draw now? I'm loving these guesses, honestly, and you're going to see why. Yeah, honestly, I'm absolutely loving these guesses. Some top guessing. Evening, Jordan. I'm not sure I've seen you on the chat before, but welcome. Thanks for the guess. Good guess as well. I don't know if any channel members are on that didn't do the quiz, so I'm just going to remind everyone, if you are a channel member and you want to do the end of year quiz, drop me a message either on Twitter or on the community page, because I've put a few members only posts on there. Let me know, and I will do it again, because only 3 of you out of the 9 did it. But yeah, let me know when I can arrange another night for those other channel members if they want to do the quiz to do it. I'd only take a draw if it keeps us in first with 7 points. I think it will. I think we'll. I mean, I would say we'd score more than Croatia, wouldn't you, against Panama and Ghana? I would predict England to be the top scorers of this group, so I'd presume we'd have the bigger goal difference and therefore top the group if we were level on points with Croatia. No, it wouldn't be a good start, and you will see scrutiny from the media straight away. It has to be a win. I mean, you definitely see a little bit of scrutiny. But I mean, would people be really kicking off if we got a draw against Croatia in the opening game? I'm not sure. I'm not sure they would. I mean, obviously, people would be disappointed. But yeah, it's. Oh God, these guesses are class. Yeah, people will be. I mean, I'll be disappointed. The problem is you want to start the tournament with a win, don't you? We've seen the impact, particularly from Gareth Southgate's time in charge, how important starting a tournament is with a win, because it just takes that pressure off, doesn't it? We can all chill out then. We can all go into that Ghana game thinking it's going to be 6-7-0. Do you know what I mean? I remember that Cameroon game. They were taken for granted, and that's a warning. I think exactly. You can't take any team for granted. Norway versus Japan final would see FIFA panic. It could be Alan Shearer. It would if our display wasn't crap. I mean, if our display was poor, then yeah, he might come under a little bit more pressure. The Van Halen song, Panama, is in my head. I've not heard that. Harry Kane in 2016. Bill Scott, Emil Heskey. Oh, what time is it? Did I say until 1:15? Did I give you all until 1:15, or did I give you all until 10 past? I think I said 1:15, didn't I? I'll keep it on for another 5 minutes. I'm so glad you reminded me to put it on. I was too busy talking. We got into it. We got into the conversation tonight, and I was just too busy talking. I'd have been gutted if I wouldn't have put this up, because the guesses have been absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I think I said 1:15, so I'm going to give it 4 more minutes. Yeah, I think I put it on at 5 past, didn't I? So yeah, 4 more minutes. Let's have a look. When there is England is still, I think it is pretty much no smoke without fire on this one, but I think it's pretty certain over the next week or so that England will be announcing 2 additional friendlies before the World Cup that are likely to be played in the US. You owe me a pint. Why do I owe you a pint? I mean, I certainly will, but I can't remember why I owe you a pint. You'll have to remind me. Um, I've lost my train of thought now. Can't remember what I was saying. 3 minutes. You have 3 minutes. Oh yeah, that's it. The friendlies, the additional friendlies that are going to be announced. I've said it before. I've said it again. I want a big team. I want a proper test for Thomas Tuchel before this World Cup kicks off, and I mean a proper team. You know, where Argentina or France or Brazil. Oh right, yes, brilliant. Okay, that makes sense, Andrew. Yeah, I do then, mate. I owe you a pint. Benin and Costa Rica as possible for. Jesus. I'd be fuming if that's the case, Matt. Got to, we need someone half decent. Don't we? I'm uninspired about Japan and Uruguay. I mean, end of the day, England in friendlies though. Honestly, I think I don't know. Worksop Town would give England a game in a friendly match. About a minute and a half. You're all going to be shocked. I think one person has got it right. The guest, the player tonight. To be honest with you, when I put it on, I did actually think this would be one of the easiest weeks. But knowing Tuchel analysed our Euro 2024 Euros campaign so in depth in his first TV interview, I think he knows what he needs to do. He just knows he needs to look so confident and says everything with a smile. Yeah, I mean he's not lacking confidence, is he, Thomas Tuchel? I think that's the thing that we ain't got to worry about with him there. I mean, I don't, Andrew, only because if I did, I would lose sleep, mate, because we were so poor against Senegal. It was so bad. Like, they completely outplayed us. Usually in, like, some games where we've lost games, we've competed. We've had a lot of the ball and they've hit us on a counter or whatever, but Senegal dominated us from start to finish. So I do worry about that game. Because you could suggest that they're the only proper half-decent team we've played in 12 to 18 months. So, right, it's now 14 past. So you've all got one more minute. How long have I been on stream for? Yeah, you've all got your last minute. Put your final things in. I think only one person so far has put the right player. You're gonna absolutely hate it. Or do a drum roll because it's quarter past. Right, let me put it on for one of you, and I think this was Matt's attack who got it right. It is Alessia Russo, guys. You know what? I think most of you didn't even recognise that was the women's shirt, given the badge on the sleeve and stuff, and the way it's designed. I'm surprised more of you didn't get that. So well done, Matt's attack. Fair play. You're the only one who I saw on the chat who got that. So really well done. Yeah, you did very, very well there. I thought I'd throw in a woman's player. I don't think I've... yes, it's a woman. I don't think I've stretched it or anything like that. I'm sure it's literally just... Yeah, I just saw that. I literally just do... I just Google or come across an England player, and then that's the one I choose, and I thought, I chuck this one in. I thought more of you would get it. I genuinely thought more of you would get this one. Oh, Charlie, you should have wrote it. I heard all sorts. Let me scroll back up. Some of the initial guesses. There was like Harry Kane. There was all sorts coming out. Gordon, Steve Bull. Yeah, some right guesses. I saw the shirt and saw that it was a modern, so it had to be Kane or a female player, and Russo came to my mind. Yeah, it was a good shout, mate. Good shout. I won't usually put a woman on, but I thought I'll throw a curveball in. But I did also think that you guys would get that, because she is one of the more well-known out of the Lionesses, is probably fair to say. So yeah, ball knowledge. Come on, guys. I'm surprised. Yeah, I am really, really surprised at that. I thought more of you would get it. Clearly, not a lot of Lioness fans in the chat this evening. Who's what do we think to... Bear with me. Because there's the Madrid-Barcelona game's on, isn't it? Oh my God. It's definitely on. It's 2-2. What a game. I thought Kane has waxed his legs. I think Calvert-Lewin's... I think both... end of the day, look, at the end of the season, if you're looking at the top English goal scorers in the Premier League, and Welbeck and Calvert-Lewin are the top of those lists, or in terms of English goal scorers, you've got to look at them, haven't you? You've got to look at them. How many days until our opening match versus Croatia? I think it'll be about 100 and... So I've got a holiday in March, April, May, June... I don't know, actually. It's still a while away. It'll go quick, though. It will go quick. That would... Darius. Colombia, not bad, but Norway would be a good friendly. I don't see the problem of picking a European team to play friendly against, neither. I really don't. Yeah, Rashford's on the bench. Does Rashford get... I said that earlier. If anyone's joined... I don't think... I'd be looking at Rashford. I won't be picking him. Calvert is looking good. He's looking a threat. The thing is he's a unit and all, and he's a target man. So I'd definitely pick him. I just love Delap to go on some sort of run and put some sort of performance in over the season. Palmer is probably the one player I'm desperate because I think he is honestly that good. He just can't be consistently fit or available for England. So I'm desperate to see him come good at some point this season. If England had this squad when Barca were dominating in the Liga, would have been good then. Maybe they would have dominated. I prefer nations good enough for World Cup. Wharton and Anderson aren't in the best form. Wharton was woeful, absolutely woeful yesterday. Like really bad. This is Wharton against a non-league team, and they were. I know Wharton's not a one-man team at Palace, but they were that poor. I don't know. I did. Joe Bellingham, I've not seen enough of him. I did see the under-21 game towards the end of last year, and he played in that, and he does look, for the under-21s, he is a unit. He's so similar in style to his brother, but I've not been following him this season or how well he's been playing or if he's been playing regular. I would be surprised. But he's certainly a player we need to keep half an eye on. Rashford went downhill at Barcelona when he got injured and lost his place. He's never been the same player since. If it was this England versus Spain World Cup squad in 2010 in their prime, who wins? Spain. Sorry, but they do. Our preferred nation is good enough for a World Cup, Austria and Ecuador, but nowhere near good enough to upset England and cause tabloid headlines, Colombia and Norway. To be fair, Gary, Palace were poor all over. You're absolutely right, they were. But he did sort of get dominated in midfield, didn't he? How'd you justify that? How'd you justify playing that badly against a non-league team? I don't think you do you? Not as a Premier League professional footballer. There's just... the FA Cup, it's been ran over, a century, and to arguably be in the biggest upset ever, there's no justification for it. Yeah, I think Spain 2010 are far better than England from that period. Yeah, always Charlie, mate. Have a good evening, have a good week at work or whatever you're doing, mate. Thank you for your support. What time are we on? I've got the snooker on as well. Mark Selby's 3-0 down, so might be an interesting weekend of the snooker if anyone's interested in that. I think the artificial pitch had an impact. Yeah, maybe, but professional footballers, aren't they? It's shocking. There's no justification for how poor that is. These March games, honestly, is that the squad, barring injuries? Do we look at that and surely any player who wants to go to the World Cup now is going to be in that squad and fighting to be in that squad regardless of injuries. So you're not going to have players pulling out because they can't be asked to go. Even though the friendly games, everyone who's everybody is going to want to be on that March squad, aren't they, for the England camp? So that's surely going to tell us a lot. I wish it was easy to go back and like do my research on the squad that was picked for the games before the actual football was picked, how close they are. And again, I think we're looking at 80-90%. It's those fringe plays, isn't it? But like if Palmer isn't in that, Trent I don't think he'll be. If I think any of these players that haven't been picked previously aren't in that squad, I don't think they're going. Yeah, Andrew, exactly, mate. I absolutely agree. I think it's gone. Same as Grealish. I don't think he's getting in the squad. No matter how well he plays, I just don't think he's doing it. It'd be interesting what striker he picks because he hasn't, has he? He hasn't picked a second striker. In fact, there's been games where England have played without a striker once Kane's come off. So you've got to look at this next squad coming up and think, right, Watkins is probably going to be fit. Calvert-Lewin's probably going to be fit. They're all going to be fit, and it's just like who will he pick? I think that is going to be a big indicator. I mean, it is Paul Palmer, but at the same time, he's just not. He's not staying fit, is he? I'm still pretty certain he's not fully fit and back from his injury. But I don't know. He is a good player, but it's just where does he fit as well in the thing? Is it that left-hand side? Is he a left-sided? Does he stay left? Does he play the way England need him to? Yeah, I mean, end of the day, look, the March friendlies are going to say a lot, but there's still a lot of football between them and the World Cup squad being announced, obviously. But the writing's on the wall for a lot of players. You're going to have to go some now. You're going to have to proper go some after March if you're not in that squad to get a call up. Yeah, he's not. I mean, the Delap's not. I just don't know what he offers. I don't know what he offers. I don't think he's a bad player. He doesn't score enough for me. He is a threat. He's an handful. I'd give him that, but I don't know. England lack goals outside Harry Kane, so I don't really want to strike one who doesn't score many. Yeah, I suppose, but is he? I don't know. We all want Palmer to do well, but it just seems like, even now, even though there's plenty of time, it just seems like things are against him and he's not going to be able to pull himself in. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. Right, guys, on that note, just shy of the hour, I'm going to leave it there for this evening. As I said, if you're new to the channel and you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I'll be dropping a video on my channel next week, early next week, Monday or Tuesday. So watch this space. More videos will be coming after Christmas period. Join me next Sunday for the Sunday Club as well. Let me know as well on the community page or drop me a message in terms of what it is that you want me to cover. Are there any video ideas that you want me to cover? Let me know. Conor Gallagher is playing really. I mean, Conor Gallagher's been completely forgotten, hasn't he, by Thomas Tuchel? Joe will end up with 8 caps and one of those World Cup without playing. He goes to Morocco, Spain, Portugal to keep Jude happy. Well, let's see. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you've all had a great evening, and I hope you all have a great week, whatever it is that you're planning on doing. Yes, I will see you all next Sunday. I'm pretty certain I've got nothing on and nothing will get in the way, but I'll certainly be dropping a video and a live stream next week. Thank you.